The guilty will be brought to book. That's the assurance the Union Minister is giving media people when he spoke about this matter that has emerged, a rather serious one, and serious accusations going from one of the cyclists about the senior coach. Meanwhile, we're talking about pollution levels. Every year during the cold months of December and January, Delhi and the National Capital Region is enveloped in this layer of smoke and fog. That smog, the kind that kills, has been a part of several newsroom discussions. Several policy meetings have taken place at the state level, at the central government level. Now, in a step that is probably in the right direction, the Commission for Air Quality Management has issued directions to ban the use of coal in industrial, in domestic and other miscellaneous applications in the entire Delhi-NCR region. And this is to be put in place from the 1st of January 2023. We have some wait ahead of us. But the use of low-sulphur coal in thermal power plants, that has been exempted from this ban. Of course, this development comes a day after the World Economic Forum's Environment Performance Index has come out. And this index ranks India at the last spot in a list of 180 countries. India has come in at 180 rank, a score of a measly 18.9 in that index, surpassed by even our neighbors. Neighbors like Pakistan and Bangladesh seem to have done better than us when it comes to rankings. Now, this index ranks countries on the basis of performance in 40 indicators, and they put down 11 categories. All of this in mind, the big question tonight we're asking on India Tonight is whether the Air Quality Commission's order is a little too little and perhaps a little too late. On the show to answer that question, we're joined by Nivit Kumar Yadav. He's the Program Director of the Industrial Pollution Unit at the Centre for Science and Environment, the CSE. Let's find out from him if this is enough or much more is needed. Mr. Yadav, India has done rather poorly on this environment index. It has come in with a very paltry score of 18.9, a ranking of 180 in 180 countries. It puts us behind Pakistan, behind Bangladesh, Vietnam, Myanmar. The bottom five together make up the poorest performing countries for environmental health. Now, we know that our air quality in India is poor. Now, the Indian government is insisting that the measurement has not been done on the right parameters. The question is, who do we believe? In your understanding, tell us, how do we stand on greenhouse gas emissions today?
I will not go into the greenhouse gas emission. I will start with what you started with, that is the Air Commission order. See, we have been working with industrial air pollution in different parts of the country. In 2020, we decided to find out what is the contribution of NCR district, industrial pollution from NCR district on Delhi. It was a big task and we selected 7 districts. And our analysis was that around 1.4 million ton of coal was used by these 7 districts in Delhi-NCR. We know about thermal power plant. A thermal power plant of capacity 2,400 megawatt consumes around 2 million ton of coal every year. It means these small industries are pollution hotspot, or you can say small thermal power plant. Thermal power plant still has pollution control equipment, but these small units, medium and small scale unit, do not have pollution control equipment or do not use them, do not run them. Second and most important thing is they have got boiler whose efficiency is very poor. So it means we have got thousands of small scale, small industries polluting everywhere. And unfortunately, there is no data in the public domain. When we were doing the exercise, we simply wanted to find out how many fuel consuming industries are there in each district, but we could not find except in the case of...
So you're saying that we don't have enough data at this time. And even so, in that kind of scenario, Mr. Yadav, the Commission for Air Quality Management has issued this ban on coal in the entire Delhi-NCR region. Will this help, or do you think that this is too little, too late? Because coal for thermal power is still allowed. Yes, we need to balance our energy needs, but do you think that balancing is possible considering at which stage we are in the battle against pollution?
See, I completely agree with you. We are late. But I will say coal is a problem and it's a good start. The good thing about Air Commission order is they have allowed alternatives. Either you go for PNG or you can even go for agro waste, which is becoming a big issue. Burning of agro waste is becoming a big issue in winter season. So I will say it's a good order from them, late order, but good beginning. And let's see how industries are preparing themselves. It's not going to be easy. The important thing is how small scale industries are going to adapt themselves. Take the example of big cranes. They are located in the very of the village, inside the agriculture field. They do not have a PNG supply. But good point is, Air Commission has given them permission. They can go ahead with agro waste. I think this will solve many problems.
You were saying let's wait and watch for these industries, the smaller ones, to act on it. But tell me really, how much awareness do you find among consumers of various kinds? Awareness about the importance of green energy. The Power Minister is asking consumers, only yesterday we were talking about it on the show, to ask power distribution companies for green energy. Do you see this happening? Have we even begun to realize the depth of the pollution problem that we are facing, the global warming that the world is contending with, but how far behind are we at awareness levels?
I completely agree with you. And we have also done a study a few years back where we have highlighted, I do not remember the names properly, they're like Delhi was sourcing significant portion of energy from clean thermal power plant, but still they were consuming around 10 to 20% energy from dirty thermal power plant. This consumer awareness is missing. We can see something happening at a small scale here and there. Some big industry is doing something. But until and unless 1.4 billion people start thinking in the direction, we will not able to achieve what we want. So I think it has to be made a mass movement. Instead of saying, I will go for 500 gigawatt of renewable by 2030, we have to also think about how we can involve people in this movement. When people will join, we will be able to see a great change.
The debate simply always veers towards growth versus environmental degradation. How much water does that debate hold, these two arguments? That one has to come at the cost of another, that India needs to come to a certain level of growth before the parameters that have been set can match those of developed countries and perhaps on a more level playing field, because that is the contention being made. Even right now, India is saying that the parameters on which they are being judged, on which the ranking has come at 180, is not really fair. Do you buy into that argument? And can we afford to make that argument because people's lives are at risk, our future is at risk?
See, I will simply say, if you look at the bigger picture, forget about everything. I will simply say, go to the industrial cluster of this country. You will find poor road infrastructure. Industrial facility, industrial state does not have proper waste management facility, no proper road infrastructure, plantation is missing. Forget everything. There is minimum what is required is missing. What you are saying? Yes, this is something you can say we are in the development phase, but still we can grow sustainably. And I think the emphasis of our government should be on ensuring how we can grow without causing any harm to the environment. Take the example
Mr. Yadav, are there corollaries among countries outside? Because currently, other countries seem to be doing much better than us. Is there an inherent problem that we have in India that we cannot go for sustainable growth?
See, I will not say we have performed poorly, but we could have done much better. Please remember, developed countries have become developed 2-3 decades back when India started its industrialization, and we have fared much better than them. To take the example of greenhouse gas emission, our contribution is very less in comparison to what developed countries have emitted in past. Still, we are emitting less. So I think we are not doing poor, but we could improve. And we should improve considering this world as a global hub where we cannot ignore our responsibility.
We cannot ignore our responsibility to the world and to our own people, because here's where we are suffering the most, and the writing is on the wall. This kind of ranking, no matter how much you may question the parameters on which certain studies are done, but the reality is that the air that we breathe is very poor. Every season, whether it is winter or not, it doesn't matter, but we know that our air quality is poor, and we need consolidated action across all stakeholders to make it happen, to control the kind of air that we breathe and make sure that pollution levels are controlled. Mr. Yadav, thank you very much for joining us with your perspective. Appreciate your making time and being with us here on India Tonight. We're running